What's up, guys? So today we are going to review cases for your Honda key fob, and we have two cases here, and I'm also going to review a third one which I've already returned. And these here are Honda Fit keys with the two buttons, but this will also apply to your Honda key fobs with the 3 or 4 buttons as long as they fit this basic shape. And the links to these will be in the description below. And just to mention, I did purchase all these myself. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So here's the first case I'll review, and it has this black rubbery surface. And I used this case for about 3 years. And you can see it's a little worn out, but overall has held up pretty good. And the bottom is open, so it's pretty easy to slide on and off. And if we slide it off, we can see our key is in pretty good condition, so it definitely protected the key well. Now, on to a few downsides of this case. The main gripe I have with this is that the surface is too grippy. So it's hard to like slide in and out of your pocket, and it's kind of made worse because this is a bit of a bulky case. Also, in my opinion, it doesn't look as nice as the other cases. And finally, a third thing, the switch here is covered up, which allows the manual release of the key. So that means to get that off, you'll need to remove the key from a keychain if you have one, and then push the key out of the case. But because it's pretty easy to remove the key from this case, it's not a big deal. Alright, so here's our second case, and by far the thing I like most about this case is this smooth surface. And it's also thinner than the first case we looked at, and smaller. So those in combination make this case much better for me for putting this key in my pocket. I also think it looks a lot nicer. The back has a clear cover, so it still shows you that Honda logo, but the case does cover that. Same with the front. It's a clear cover over these buttons, but there is protection over that. And on the back you see that there's a slot for the manual key release, so we don't have to take the case off to access our key. However, we still need to take the case off to change our key battery. Of course, that's going to be true for any case, and that is a little bit more difficult to slide off the case on this key. And once we get this key out, I'll show you one more major downside to this case. So if your Honda key has a panic button right here, which from my research, most but not all models do have the panic button, this case will cover the button up, and because the panic button is depressed into the surface, you won't be able to use the panic button with this case, at least not with a high amount of force. I couldn't get it to work. Finally, one more small advantage to this key cover. You can slide it on and off without removing the key from your keychain. And that can be nice because this is pretty thick, so getting your keychain off of the key can be difficult and also scratch this nice metal here. This one, the rubber wraps into the keychain, so you need to take the keychain off. Finally, let's look at the third case that I tested out. This one was very similar to the last one in its look and material, but had two key differences. First, instead of the clear cover over the buttons, this case had the buttons drawn onto the key, but unfortunately, they don't offer a version for the 2-button key used for the Honda Fit, only the more common 3 and 4 button keys. Now, the cover will still fit perfectly over the Honda Fit key, but the location of the lock and unlock buttons will be off. The second difference is, instead of just sliding on over the top part of the key, this case wraps around the whole key, then has a separate back insert that slides in. The advantage of this design, in my opinion, it offers a little bit better protection. it protects the bottom metal part of your key from scratches, but a disadvantage, it is really hard to take the case off the key. With my bare hands, it took me several minutes manipulating the case to get it off, and I have had to remove the case 2 times in the past 3 years to change the key battery. So that's my review of these Honda key cases. This one right here is my preferred one, but I will have the links to all of these in the description below. Hope this helped you. If it did, give it a like, and I'll see you in the next video.